The GPO content drought has been happening for a while now, and it's not something new. But what's happened recently is something very different, because in this update right here, update 5, we got one island and a small island. If you remember, and if you were around in update 4, we got almost like 4 islands, I believe. 4 islands, we got a bunch of fruits, we got a Karoo minigame, we got a whole lot more. I can just off the top of my head, and it's like all of these things, but as soon as the game is getting close to releasing for free, they have to start making the game, they can't even put in the at least effort to add like one extra island, or add one extra boss, or add a couple more fruits. I don't know why this is happening. I mean, they had 8 months, and that's why I'm saying a lot of the players are now leaving for Project Slayers, because they've been disappointed. They are disappointed by the fact that they have to wait almost a year for an update. A whole year almost. It's just 4 months away from a whole year. A year to get content that would only last them a couple of days. Now update 4, it took us maybe a week or two to finish, because there was a lot to do. There was so much to do, but in the end of the day, it was still more than the update we had now. This update, I'd say, let's say more or less, if you know life, that you will more or less be finished with it in 2 to 4 days at max. For some people can finish it in a day, but I mean, hey, if you're going that hard, that's how hard you're going. But I'm just saying, like, most people casually, maybe 5 days at most of constant grinding. I mean, that's why GPO is currently at like so low. Like, we expected on their free release date that the game will maybe consistently have around 100k players. Of course, on release day, as soon as the game released, they had 200,000. But I mean, Blox Fruit has that regularly with no updates. So I don't know why I was saying that the game was going to be beating Blox Fruits, but it didn't. Now it's down to 20k. Sometimes it's even down to 17k players online. It was less than when the game went free. The players went down with the free release. It's weird, and I believe it's because the update was so disappointing, to the fact that everybody was leaving and went to the other alternatives, which is Project Slayers, the new Naruto game called Bloodlines, and etc. All the new games that came out. And really, to be honest, that could have been solved if you actually added more content. But now the game is at an all-time low. It has 18,000 players, especially after release, a free release especially. You'd think that the players would increase, but rather it decreased with the free release, which is weird, of course, but it might stabilize over time. I'm not sure how much will stabilize, so don't lose hope yet, but I believe it could stabilize. So, but yeah, this is their own fault, the developers themselves, hyping updates up for months and 8 months straight of posting sneak peeks and showing images of what you're gonna add, and then you don't come through and you add one island, one serious island. The other island with the observation haki is not serious. When you get your observation haki, you never visit, right? So one island and a couple of fruits, is that all you're giving your players after waiting 8 months? If the game literally just had more grindable content and had more content that isn't just so little that people were finishing in a couple of days, the game will have survived and it keep its players. It's about how fast you can go through content. If your content is little, you don't have a lot of it, people will go through it in like milliseconds, and that's the point. If they actually made stuff harder and more difficult and grindier, people will stay for long periods of time. But now, as you see, you messed up, because you made content that was ran through in a couple of days. Very disappointing as well, as we expected more. Not only that, people are pissed because the update was mid. Then a new game comes around, Project Slayers comes around, Bloodlines comes around the same time as the game become free, right? And it's like, you kind of doomed yourself by doing this. Your fault for not adding enough content, but I don't blame them. Maybe they're thinking, oh, it's going to be free, so who needs to put in more effort? Well, that kind of worked against you, because people, even the free-to-play players, don't really care, and they left for other games. So yeah, you know, it's tough out here in the GPO. The GPO devs must be feeling some type of way. They were speaking very highly of the game, saying it'd be surprising BloX Freeze, whatever. Now it's not even I was saying it would be surprising BloX Freeze, because, well, I'm wrong then, you know, since it flopped. The update flopped. Hopefully stabilize, though. It will stabilize. Hopefully stabilize, please, please, please. Because I don't want the game to die. But other than that, check out the video I made yesterday, and peace.